Hello, AI enthusiasts. Welcome to the orientation session on AI Student Community Presents AISC Challenge of the Year. We welcome you all to the orientation session today. I hope you are ready and excited about, to find out more about the challenge. And I hope you're eager and excited to participate in the challenge. We welcome you all to the orientation session today. And today we will understand what is AI Student Community Challenge of the Year. You will also learn important information such as how to participate, what to submit, how to submit, when to submit, and all the important details that are essential for you that will help you to prepare for the challenge and step up into this really huge mega challenge that we have presented and organized for you, right? So you can share your excitement in the chat section. Let us know how eager and excited you are to participate in the challenge, and we can't wait to get started. All right. So let us begin with understanding what is AISC Challenge of the Year, and followed by that we will look into how to participate in the challenge. All right. So what is AISC Challenge of the Year? AIC Challenge of the Year is, a mega challenge that we have introduced in AI student community that will help you to compete, learn, compete, and stand a chance to win exciting prizes and giveaways by showcasing your skills, your talents, and create innovative, creative solutions that will solve a social impact, right? That will create a social impact and solve a social problem, right? So this is the AISC Challenge of the Year. Now, as part of AISC Challenge of the Year, what are the things that you can look forward to? The first thing is to learn. You can learn a lot about AI through through the learning sessions that we have organized for you all, which we will come to in some time. You can learn concepts like basics of AI. You can understand what is artificial intelligence, what are the applications of AI around us, how does a computer or a system become AI, right? We will also be learning about the purpose of AI, the possibilities that AI brings to us, and what are the pitfalls of AI? What are the ethics of AI that one should know about before making any application or any project related to AI? Okay, so that is something that you will be learning in one of the sessions called Basics of AI. You will also be learning a very important concept called AI project cycle. All right, so as part of this session, you will be covering the framework or the steps that you can follow in order to convert your idea into reality. Not just that, we have organized orientation sessions for you all, which we will be discussing in a short while. Apart from learning, the next part is to submit your ideas, right? I'm sure you must have participated in a lot of challenges. You must have had a great experience, and you have, a lot of ideas. You have a lot of solutions to some of the important problems that needs to be solved using technologies like AI. For example, I just read in the news this morning that NASA had shared a graphic which shows how much plastic is, in the oceans and how is it moving around the world. If you haven't read that news, you can go and check it out. But reading that news, I had thought of myself that if I had to solve this problem, I could use satellite imagery to understand what kind of plastic is being dumped into the oceans, and I can, do certain analysis and come up with a really interesting idea, to contribute towards this, towards the solution that will solve this problem, right? So you can create such innovative solutions with some of the problems that needs urgent attention. So as part of this challenge, you can think of a lot of ideas, that comes to your mind that can solve various social problems, and because of which you can create a social impact in your society. Okay, so idea submission is one such segment which is very interesting and very exciting. Not just that, you will also stand a chance to compete with your ideas by building your projects. We will discuss this point in a bit more detail, but as part of your participation in this challenge, you can stand a chance to win exciting prizes and giveaways by competing with your ideas. And when you build your projects, you can compete with those projects and get a chance to earn exciting prizes and giveaways. How exciting is that, isn't it? At the end of this challenge, you may be one of them who are going to get some exciting prize or exciting giveaways, right? I myself am excited right now to to find out who are those winners. But of course, we'll have to wait until the challenge of the year to end to find out who are the winners. But until then, keep thinking about your ideas and keep participating in this challenge. And we hope that one of you will be the winners whose projects will be the standout project. Okay, so this is AISC challenge of the year. And now let's take a look at how can you participate in this challenge? Because I'm pretty sure that you must have had this question in your mind. How can I participate? Where is this challenge held? How am I going to build projects? You must have various questions. Let's clear those questions by understanding how can you participate in this challenge. All right. So how to participate in the challenge? The first step is registration. So the first step as to participate in this challenge is to register for it. The registration link is here in the screen, which will also be shared with you in the chat section. So the first step is to register yourself to participate into the challenge of the year. And you can ask your friends or classmates if they are not an AISC member. You can ask them, you can talk about the community with them, and you can ask them to sign up for the community. We will also share the link to join the community in the chat section with you all. All right. Now, remember, in order to participate, you must be a member of AI student community. So if you haven't signed up for it, you can sign up and become a member of AISE today. All right. Now, as part of by becoming a member of AISC, you can, if you want to explore your learning journey in AI, if you want to learn more about AI, then you can join AI student community and become a member of it to explore AI and to expand your knowledge in this particular technology, which is AI. There are lots of things for you to explore on the AISC platform, which you can check it out once you have signed up for it. Also, important details such as what are the events that are being conducted regarding the challenge of the year, announcement of the results, all of this will happen in AI student community platform. So, which is why we are sharing these details with you so that you can join AI student community, become a member, learn AI, and simultaneously you can participate in the challenge of the year. All right. So I hope the first step is clear to you all. Just to summarize, the first step is to register for the challenge of the year by filling out this Google form, whose link will have been shared with you in the chat section. If you're not a member of AISC, you can sign up for the community by clicking on this link, which will also be shared with you in the chat section. And you can talk about the challenge, you can talk about the community with your friends and classmates. And if they are interested to become a member of AISE, if they are interested to participate in the challenge, you can speak about the challenge, you can speak about the community with them and help them become a member of AISE and help them to register for the challenge. Sounds exciting, right? So I hope you have spoken to your friends and classmates about the challenge, and I hope that they are eager and excited as much as you are to participate in it. All right, let's see what comes after registration. So once you have completed the registration, the next part is to attend the learning sessions. We have organized 5 sessions for you all. Among them, 3 sessions are orientation sessions, one of which is happening right now. All right. After this, we have a session tomorrow on the topic basics of AI. The date is 9th December for it. All right. So I hope you have made a note of the calendar that we have a session tomorrow on basics of AI, and we hope to see you there. All right. After basics of AI, we have another orientation session on the challenge of the year. So this is for those who have selected the date as 10th of December, or by any chance, if you have missed the orientation session today, you can attend the orientation session on 10th of December. All right. So this is the schedule for the learning sessions. After the second orientation session, we have another session on AI project cycle. Like I said earlier, in this session, you will be going through the framework that will help you to build projects regarding AI. This will help you to bridge the gap between your idea and the solution so that you can convert your idea into reality. Right? So to understand that framework, we have organized a session for you on the 11th of December. Finally, we have another orientation session on the 13th of December, and this would be for those who have selected the date as 13th of December, and for those who by any chance who could not attend the orientation session today and the orientation session on the 10th of December. So this is the schedule for the learning sessions. You will find the same information on the AI student community platform as well. You can go on to the forum and you can find the details of the sessions over there as well. Okay. Right. So there's a question in the chat. Once we attend this session, we don't have to attend other sessions, right? So the answer to this question is that in case you have missed out some information, maybe you had a network problem or you could not attend the session due to some reason today, you can attend the session on the 10th of December. So that if you had missed out any points, if you had not attended the session due to some reason, you can attend the orientation on the 10th as well. Okay, so all the three orientation sessions are the same, and we have created three such orientation sessions so that all the students who have registered for this challenge will be oriented about the challenge in an inclusive manner. So I hope that answers your question. All right, moving on. So this was the second step as part of the challenge of the year, to attend the learning sessions. All right, great. Now let's move on to the third step, idea submission. Now I'm sure you must have a lot of questions around this. What kind of ideas can I submit? What can I submit? How to submit? And so on and so forth. Don't worry, we will clear all your questions. Speaking about idea, I would like to speak first about the problem. All right. So as part of this third step, you have to think of certain problems that you feel are, important to solve using technologies like AI. Some of the problems, like I mentioned earlier, where NASA showed how plastic is dumped into the ocean and how is it moving around, isn't it? This sounds like a very serious problem, isn't it? Now, how did I come up with this? How did I come across this problem? I read it in the news. So similarly, to begin working on your idea submission, the first step is to think or to ideate a particular problem that you wish to solve using your knowledge and your expertise in AI. So first you can think about the problem, and once you have identified the problem that you think you want to solve using AI, start researching a bit more about it. What kind of solutions have been created? What are the possible solutions to solve this problem? And then you can select the solution which you think will be the best solution to solve this problem. And once you have done your research, properly, you can start creating a project charter document, which you will be submitting as part of step 3. So this project charter document will be in the form of either a Word document whose extension is .docx, or in the form of a PDF. All right. And what does this document include? What kind of information should you include in it? I will show this to you with an example. we have created a sample document for you all, whose link will also be shared with you in the chat section. Use this sample document as a reference to create your own idea submission documents. And that is what you will be submitting in step 3. Okay, let me take you through this document so that you understand the details that you need to fill in as part of your submission. So the first thing is that write your name. Mention what is your name, your class, which class are you studying in right now, and which school do you study in. All right. So name, class, and school. Followed by this, you will be mentioning what is the title of your project. So whichever problem that you have identified, you must have thought of a solution for it, isn't it? Now, once you have a solution, you can name the project. For example, in school, you must have created several science projects, isn't it? So when you are making that project, once it is ready, or as you are making it, you may think of a title for it, isn't it? Similarly, for your project idea, you can also think of a title for it. So whatever that project title is, that goes here in this line. All right. Followed by this, you need to write a very short, a very brief summary of what the project is all about. What is it that you have thought of to solve the problem? For example, let's say that I am building an onion price predictor. That's my project. What is the summary for it that I have identified? It's an AI-enabled model which can predict the price of onions that solves the problem for common people. Right? So that's my whole summary, that I am going to predict the onion prices in advance so that people can solve the difficulty of unpredictability of onion prices. As you may know that at one point of time, onion prices were very high. Onions were very expensive, isn't it? So as a sample document, we have identified this particular problem, which will help you to understand what needs to be included in the summary. So whatever solution that you have identified, summarize it into 2 or 3 lines and share that with us here in this segment of the document, summary. All right, let's go to the next part, which is problem statement. Now, this is a very crucial part of your submission document. Here, you need to identify who are the people who are facing the problem. Okay, so you need to identify the people who are facing the problem. What is the problem that they are facing? In which situation or in which context are they facing that particular problem? And what would an ideal solution be to solve that problem? Which is the solution that you're going to build. I am going to build an AI-enabled model which will predict the best rates to buy onions. That's my ideal solution. I will help people to predict onion prices. So that's my problem statement. All right. So ensure that the problem statement covers these points. Who are the people who are facing the problem? What kind of problem are they facing? In which situation or in which context do they face the problem? And what would an ideal solution be to solve the problem? Okay, I hope this is clear to you as well. Now, next segment is domains of AI. You have identified a problem, you have thought of a problem statement, which will, using which you will create your project and solve that particular problem. So you need to identify which domain of AI is your solution based on. Is it based on statistical data or data science? Is it based on computer vision? Or is it based on natural language processing? In some cases, some projects also require multiple domains. Maybe your project is based on data science and NLP, for instance, maybe data science and computer vision, or computer vision and natural language processing. So what are the domains of AI based on which your solution is based on? You need to mention that here. All right. Finally, the last segment is the working principle. So this is where you elaborate your solution. You explain the whole flow of your whole project. So basically, you need to mention some important details such as How are you solving this problem? What methodologies are you using? Which AI models do you think will be used to solve the problem? You need to mention all of that in a bit more detail so that you can explain the whole working principle in a very clear manner. So for example, here I've written that in an onion price predictor project, the main factors are rainfall, temperature, and onion prices. I will collect a certain data set, all right, from this particular department for 5 years. And I will solve this problem by using a linear regression model, which is based on machine learning. I will split my data into training and testing. I will train my model on the weather data set, and I will be using that information to predict the prices. Something like that. See, I have explained the whole flow. How am I going to start with? What methodologies will I be using? How will I solve this problem? And what kind of output do I expect from it? So you need to explain the whole working principle of your project in this segment. And finally, when you have mentioned all these details, do check once whether you have covered all the important information regarding your project, and then you may head to the submission form to submit your project. All right, so I hope this is clear to you all. We will share this sample document with you all in the chat section. You can make a note of it, or you must have received the link for the sample document via email as well. If you have not received it by email, if you think you've missed it out, we have shared the link with you all in the chat section. All right. Now coming back to the submission part. So this document, once it is ready, you will be submitting in an idea submission form. The link for that also will be shared in the chat section, and I will be projecting it onto my screen also in some time. And you can make a note of the link where you have to submit the ideas, and you can also work on the document. And once it is ready, you can head to the submission. Also, one very important point here. You may have multiple ideas and you may want to submit all of them. Well, you can do that. If you have, let's say, 5 ideas that will solve 5 separate problems, 5 separate social problems, you can create the charter document for each of those project ideas and share that with us in the idea submission form. So if you feel that I have more than one idea and you would like to share those ideas with us, you can surely do that. But remember, the last date to submit your idea is by 15th December at 4 p.m. Okay? So remember this date. The last date to submit your idea is 15th December by 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., the link to submit your idea will be deactivated. So keep a note of this deadline and submit your ideas before this date and by 4 p.m. All right. Now, another very important point to make a note of is that your participation in this challenge will be individual. You will be individually participating in the challenge right from the start till the end. It will only be your own efforts. All right. So if you have any question about participating in teams, well, here is your answer. You will be participating in Challenge of the Year individually. Okay. And once the deadline is complete, the shortlisted students whose ideas were impressive, they will be announced on 16th December in the forum of AI student community. Okay, I hope you are making a note of the important date. I will reiterate the important dates as we head further in the orientation session. So you can make a note of the important dates so that you do not miss out in your participation. All right. So I hope this segment is clear to you all about idea submission. Now, let's move on to the next segment, which is the fourth step, which we call it as build your project. So the students whose ideas have been shortlisted in step 3, they will be invited to work on building their projects. All right. So these will be the students who will be completing their projects and submitting their projects to us. And we will be selecting the winners out of these shortlisted students. And one very important point for you to note is that we will provide technical support to these students so that you can complete building your projects. The technical support will be provided in a virtual mode. Further details of this particular segment will be shared with the students via email. All right. Now, you must be having this question. What kind of technical support will we get, and to what extent can we ask for help? So the answer to this question is that we will have few technical mentors that will help you with any technical support that you need to building the projects. We will not be spoon feeding with the solutions, but instead we will guide you, we will share the resources and guide you towards the direction in which you may find the answer to your queries. All right. So these mentors will be there for you all to help you out in these in such technical assistance. But it will solely be your own efforts, your own project. The technical mentors will only be there to guide you towards the resources which will which will help you to give a solution to the problem that you are facing. Okay, further details on this will be shared with the students via email when the time is right. Okay, one very important point, the deadline to submit your final projects is 19th December by 5 p.m. All right, and we will announce the winners on the 20th of December. Also, one very important point that you may want to make a note of is you may have this question, when can I start building my projects? Well, once you have submitted your project documents with us in step 3, you can feel free to start working on your projects. But remember, those students who have been shortlisted to participate in step 4, only those students will be submitting their final projects. And those students who haven't been shortlisted, you can complete your projects and you can once you complete your projects, you can have a proper solution to the problem that you identified. This shouldn't stop you to complete your projects. All right. We would request you to not leave your project solving, project building part midway because you were not selected in step 4. Do complete the projects, but those students whose ideas have been shortlisted, they will be invited to complete their projects and submitting with us, and we will be selecting the winners out of them. All right. So you can ideate a lot of ideas. You can start building the projects and you can complete them. But remember, you need to complete your projects by 19th December. All those students who have been shortlisted to participate in step 4, the deadline is 19th December by 5 p.m. Post this deadline, the submission link will be deactivated and you may no longer submit your projects. So ensure that you complete the project building part by this date so that you can submit the necessary files to us by the deadline. That brings me to the next part, which is what do you have to submit in step 4? In step 3, we had asked you to create a project charter document, right? And now in step 4, you will be submitting your final projects with us. So what is that final project? What will you be submitting? You will be submitting two things. The first is the project video. All right. Now, as part of this submission, you will be creating a video whose duration will be 90 to 120 seconds. And what kind of details will you be covering in the video? Here they are. First, you will be introducing yourself. For example, hi, my name is Karan Hindocha. I am a class 10 student studying in ABC International School. So that is how you may introduce yourself. Followed by that, you can mention what is the title of the project. What project have you made? And then you can introduce the problem that you identified based on which you created this project that you have submitted to us. Okay, so what problem did you identify? and what inspire you may also want to include what inspired you or what made you select that particular problem, and what made you solve, how did you think of solving this problem using the solution that you have created, right? You can explain that in a bit more detail by mentioning about what is your idea, what is it all about, how are you solving that particular problem. You can mention that. Followed by that, you may also want to add, how did you transform your idea into reality? What processes did you go through? What challenges you may have faced? How did you solve those challenges? How did you work towards converting your idea into reality? You may want to mention that also in your project video. Also, you can include important information like the methodologies used, meaning which model did you select, why did you select this model, uh, why did you think that this model will be, the best suitable model to solve the problem. You may want to add some bit more detail about it, which will help you to structure your whole video in such a way that you're introducing yourself, you introduce the project, the problem, how did you approach the solution? What processes did you follow to transform your idea into reality? What methodologies did you use? So there is a proper structure to your video, right? And finally, you may have got an output of your model, isn't it? Whatever code that you may have created, it has a certain output which shows that you have solved the problem that you have identified. So you need to show us a demonstration of the model displaying the output. For example, let's say that I am building a mask detector model. All right. Now, in this case, I may have to show two types of outputs, right? One output will be with the mask, that the model is detecting that I have worn the mask or not. And the second output will be that I am not wearing my mask and it is detecting that I have not, covered my nose and my mouth with the mask, right? So you need to show all different kinds of outputs by demonstrating the working of your model. All right. Also, you can add your own elements to it, such as future scope of your project. How do you think that this problem, this solution will help solve the problem of the people who are facing this problem? How will it improve the situation? So you can add all these details also as you wish, but remember the video should be between 90 to 120 seconds. All right. Once you have created this video, you may upload it on your YouTube channel and submit that link with us. Before you submit the link, ensure that you share this YouTube video that you have created with your friends or family to check whether the link is correct, whether they are able to open the link or not, to ensure successful submission of your project video. Okay, so I hope this is clear. This is one such submission that you need to do in step 4. Finally, there is one more thing that you have to submit in step 4 along with project video, which is a Google Drive link. But what is this Google Drive link? What should it contain? It should contain the following. You may share the notebook or the file where you have written the codes with which we can evaluate the work that you have done in the solution building, the model that you have built. We will evaluate the model using the notebook that you have created. You may even want to share the dataset and any other files related to the project. You can upload all these files in a Google Drive link and share the Google Drive link with us. Ensure that before you submit the link, just check the settings of the Google Drive link as anyone with the link viewer, so that if you're sharing this link with us, we will be able to open it and access the files that you have submitted, such as notebook, dataset, or any other files related to your project. So to ensure that you have submitted the correct files and the link is opening, you may want to test out the link with your friends or family and ask them to open it and check whether they are able to access the files from the link or not. So if there is any issue before you submit your files to us, you can sort out all those queries, all those problems. All right. I'm stressing this point once again. In step 4, you need to submit a project video which covers all these following details about your project and upload that video in YouTube and submit the link with us. All right. Finally, you will also be asked to share a Google Drive link that contains your code, dataset, or any other files that are related to the project that you think will be helpful for us to evaluate your project. You may share those files with us here in this link and share that link with us. Okay. All right. So there's another question here in the chat. Do we have to make the project in Python or do we need to make a prototype or an app? So I will leave this for you. All right. So if you think that you want to submit the project by making it in Python and you want to share the Jupyter notebook with us, that is completely fine. And if you want to continue working on it by turning it into an app or something, you can surely do that. If you think you can complete it by by the deadline, you can share the link of the app with us also. But remember, test out the link with your friends or family so that they can check whether your app is working well or not, whether the project that you have made is working well or not. Okay. Ideally, we would want you to submit the notebook, the code, the data set, and any other files that are related to the project. What I mean by any other file is, for example, you may have heard of hair cascade files, isn't it? Which helps to detect faces, isn't it? So let's say that you have built such a model which detects faces. And for us to evaluate your code, we may need access to those hair cascade files. So you can upload that as along with your notebook and the data set so that we can evaluate your project accordingly. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, wonderful. So this is how you complete your participation in AISC Challenge of the Year. If you have any queries, you may write your queries to us in email, which will also be shared with you in the chat section. All right. I'm stressing this point once again. Here is the idea submission form to submit your idea documents, the project charter documents that you will be submitting in step 3. This is the link for you to submit your ideas to us. Make a note of this link and we will also share this link in the chat section so that you can submit your ideas before the deadline and we can evaluate your idea. Okay, if you have any query about your idea submission, you can write an email to us with your query and we will cater to your queries and help you out in your participation. Okay, all right. Now make a note of these important dates. The registration deadline is on 14th December by 12 p.m. So if you're asking your friends or classmates to register for the challenge, then ensure that they do so before 14th December 12 p.m. All right. We have organized 5 sessions, learning sessions for you all, starting today, 8th of December. They will go on until 13th of December, whose details were covered earlier in the session. If you need the details of this session, you may refer to an email which you may have got from our end mentioning the learning sessions details. You may also find these details in the forum of AI student community. Okay. And remember, the idea submission deadline, step 3 deadline is 15th December by 4 p.m. Post this deadline date and time, the link will be deactivated and you may no longer be allowed to submit your ideas. All right. So kindly make a note of this deadline. And once you start working on your projects, make a note of this deadline and you can work accordingly and submit your ideas to us. Okay. Followed by this, the shortlisted ideas who will be participating in step 4 will be announced on the 16th of December. And finally, the final project submissions, the deadline for that is 19th December, 5 p.m. And we will announce the winners on 20th of December. Okay, I hope you have made a note of these important dates. The deadline to register is 14th of December by 12 p.m. Learning sessions will be organized starting today from 8th of December until the 13th of December. The deadline to submit your ideas in step 3 is 15th of December by 4 p.m. We will shortlist the ideas and the students by the 16th, and those students will be submitting their final projects by the 19th of December 5 p.m. and we will announce the winners on the 20th. Okay, so any further information will be conveyed to you via email from our end. And in case you have any further queries, you may write an email to us at aistudentcommunity.cbse@gmail.com. You may also find this email address on the AI Student Community platform as well. Okay, now let me take you through some frequently asked questions, and I hope these questions, the answers to these questions, will solve some of the questions that you have regarding the project ideas, when can you start working, and how can you participate. So there is this one frequently asked question: what type of project ideas can we submit? You may think of any project idea that you believe is solving a social problem. The solution will create a social impact. So think about such, some serious problems that you think need urgent attention to it, which you feel you can solve using your knowledge and, techniques of AI that you know. All right. So you can think of such innovative project solutions for those problems and share those ideas with us. All right. Can you submit more than one idea? Yes, you can. Like I said earlier, you may submit more than one idea, but remember, each idea, there will be a separate project document which you will be creating and submitting it to us. Okay. Then when can you start working on the projects? When you submit, when your project document is ready and you have submitted to us, you may start working on the projects and you may start building the solutions for it. Remember, those students who have been shortlisted to participate in step 4 of the challenge of the year, which is build your project, those students will be submitting their projects to us and we will be announcing the winners among those students. Okay. Another question that was frequently asked to us until the registration date today, which was, can I review the sessions if I've missed them? Yes, you can. In fact, let me take you through the AI Student Community platform, where that is one such place where you may find the sessions that you may have missed. So I will be sharing my screen now. I hope you're able to see the AI Student Community platform. If you are sharing this community platform with your friends or classmates for them to fill the details that are mentioned here, and upon submitting a member of AI Student Community. Once you are becoming a member of AI Student Community, you may log in into AI Student Community by clicking on Login. Okay, so let me show you how does the platform look like. So this is the platform of AI Student Community. If you need to access the sessions that you may have missed, all right, you may find it in past events over here. When you click on events and you click on past events, you may find the session over here. So once this session is over, you will find this particular session here in the past events. Currently, it is in upcoming events as it is still going on. But once the session is over, you will find it in past events. Okay, what you need to do is to access the session, you need to click on the card and you may find the link over here. So when you click on this link, it will direct you to the page where we are in this session right now, and you may access the session through this link. Okay, so in order to come across this page, you will have to be a member of AI Student Community, and which is why if you're not a member of AI Student Community, we request you to sign up and become a member of AISC today. Also, you will see something called as forum over here. So here, this is where we will be announcing the shortlisted students. We will also be announcing the winners of the challenge of the year in forum. So you may access, AI student community platform, explore the various things that you see here. What can you do? What can you not do? Explore all of it. And I hope you have fun and you have a great experience learning AI on AI student community platform. All right. If you have any further queries, you may ask your queries in the chat section. Or if you think that later on you have a question that you would like to ask us, you may write an email to us on aistudentcommunity.cbse@gmail.com. And in the subject, mention AISC Challenge of the Year, and you have a query on that so that we know that you are writing this email to us because you have a query to ask about the challenge of the year. Okay, so I hope you have had a good amount of information which will help you to prepare for the challenge and which will help you to participate in the challenge, to submit your ideas, how can you participate, and all important information about the challenge. I hope you had a great session today. I thank you all for joining the session. I hope you had understood what is AI student community challenge of the year. I hope you have got all the information that you were looking for, and we wish you all the very best to participate in the challenge. We look forward to your ideas, we look forward to evaluate them, and we look forward to a great experience in the challenge of the year. All right. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining the session today. All the very best and have a wonderful evening. Thank you and bye-bye.